There's only 15 more cents to be made up by 49 more states. 5 of 20 is 25%. An entire quarter of the nation increase is caused by a single state, and it's being $1.66 above average is a massive difference because that extra $1.66 adds up with every gallon. And we're still paying less for gas than we did for Biden's entire 4-year term in office. So much is wrong with this comment that I decided to make an entire video dedicated to this one comment, so I hope you're feeling entitled. Time for a reality check. So first off, do you know what an average is? An average is basically when you take a certain amount of numbers, add them up all together, and divide that by said amount of numbers. For example, if I were to add up the numbers 4, 9, 12, 1, and 20, that total would be 46. And how many numbers are there? 5 of them. So simply divide that by 5, and you get the answer of 9.2. Same with the national average. You add up all these state averages together and divide that by 50 because, well, there are 50 states. And to remove a state, you simply cut that price from the states that you want to remove while adding up everything and then divide that by the remaining amount of states, which in this case is 49. And guess what? I did the math, so you don't have to. I've shown this video way too much already, but it needs to be done again. Now, to be fair, in that video, I did include Washington, D.C., as the actual national average from that day was $3.42, based on March 7th gas prices. But even removing D.C., it only nudges that up ever so slightly, like about a nickel. Which, for those who don't know, a nickel is 5 cents. I know, credit cards, we've used too many of those. We need to go back to cash, people. And the choice that they pulled from my post, yeah, that is now outdated. It was 20 cents from March 2nd to March 4th. I made the post on March 4th, and the post didn't blow up until this past weekend. Which, for reference, I'm recording this on March 11th, 1 week after. And since March 4th, the national average has gone up by another 38 cents. So let's see now, 20 plus 38, 58 cents. So some of your math ain't mathin'. So why is California more expensive? I'm gonna give you a hint. It's not because it's a blue state. The real reason why California is expensive locally is because of fuel blend requirements, refinery capacity, transportation logistics, and state taxes under both Democrats and Republicans, since California has always been higher than the national average no matter which side the governor is leaning politically. Swing states and red states, they also have high prices. Why? The exact same reasons I just mentioned. But do you want to know what actually moves gas prices by dollars? Global oil markets, OPEC decisions, wars, and supply and demand worldwide. So the reason why gas was cheap under Trump's first term but more expensive under Biden's term was because of the COVID-19 pandemic. There was a low demand of gas, and when everyone started to go back to their usual daily lives, they needed gas for their car, and suddenly prices rose. And to make things even worse, Russia decided to invade Ukraine, which brought, the prices up again. And to top it all off, it was also the traditional sense that some comments actually made, which they do have a good point, that usually with gas prices around this time, they start going up because, well, people want to go on vacation since it's inching closer to summer. I will give some of the comments under that post credit for that, but the thing is, it's not going at these sites. Compare it today. Today is March 11th. This is the gas price on March 11th. $3.58, round up the 8 to the 7, such that. Compared to 1 year ago, $3.08. Yeah, 50 cents within a year is quite a huge number. From what I've seen, the only people that are happy about this gas going up right now are people who work in the oil industry. So what have you learned, sunshine? One state's policies just don't move the national average by dollars, only a few cents. So blaming Biden at the end ignores the primary global factors that actually drove prices during his term. So maybe you need to go back to school and learn how averages actually work, because something tells me you clearly didn't. My name is Anthony Arsoft, Republican. Be sure to follow on all my socials, otherwise you'll see my face again. Have a good day.